Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. How are you doing today? Michael Zuber, one rental at a time. And yes, I'm in a different room of my house because we have a house guest and I don't want to wake them up early because I'm the only early bird and everybody else isn't. So let's welcome Stephen Dow to the show. How you doing, buddy?
Good morning, sir. I'm doing fantastic. And
Yeah,
you?
I didn't want to shock you with the background. It's all different.
No, not this time. Yeah, you
Yeah.
explained it, but
Yeah.
I had some questions.
Yeah. So what I want to talk about today is a program that we've touched on, but I want one episode on it. And that is what's called, I think, the flex term.
Correct.
This is a program that I think a lot of investors should at least look at because it offers the best of both worlds, 30-year fixed rate with some upfront options, either given the environment you're in or the deal maybe needs some love the first couple of years. So why don't you talk about the basic structure and then we'll talk about how people could use it.
Okay. So again, it's a 30-year fixed loan, but it has up to the first 10 years of that 30-year fixed loan of an interest-only option if you choose. So again, the flexibility of both worlds of, payment relief when you need it. Again, with new variants coming out, I know I keep touching upon that, but every time I turn on the news, you get all these Roman numerals coming out, Delta, Lambda. Yeah, it sounds like a sororities, a roll call. They start like, Lambda, 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 and like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So, but with that happening and changing, as we speak, you need that flexibility without having to refinance into a bridge loan at that time to give you again, a little bit of payment relief, but temporarily. And in an inflationary environment, and then paying more closing costs again. So the risk is more, more cost, but also possibly, even a higher rate, but short term because it's only again typically 6 to 24 months for bridge financing. So we allow full fixed 30 years.
Yeah, and before we dive into further of this, I want people to realize that you can get into this flex term for a single family rental, 2 through 4, 5 and above, mixed rate, mixed use, little loan, big loan, doesn't matter. You can really.
We're like the Swiss Army knife of lending almost, what I'm saying? Pick one,
And you could do purchase or refi, right?
Yep.
Crazy that you can do that. That's pretty awesome. So again, when I look at something like that, I think about how I would have used it in the past. First off, I believe rates are going to go up in the next couple of years. So locking in now is good. I always talk about 30-year money. I still can't believe you can do 30-year money on apartments. I would definitely lock in some of my apartments when I was buying them. Because again, think about the apartments I bought. They were good deals. They were actually great deals, right? If you follow my course, right? Average, good or great. They were great deals, but they needed some love.
Right.
So what that meant at the time with a traditional commercial lender is instead of doing something like 35 or 40% down, given that Fresno is called a tertiary market, one of the deals I had to bring in 50%. And I had to escrow some repair money, right? Because again, just traditional bank financing, they don't appreciate value add, right?
Right.
And, maybe if you get to Fannie and Freddie limits of $10 million deals and up, maybe I don't play there. I'm right in the 5 to 40 range. This is a program that would have helped me out a lot in 2010, 2011, 2012. So that's just an apartment. Then you get down to, kind of 2s through 4s or single families. I think we're in for a housing slowdown. But where you're going to find the opportunity is in value add. And those properties don't smell good all the time. They don't look good all the time. And a lot of traditional banks are going to go, nope, not for me. And
that's where, again, the ORAT, family kind of gets to benefit from those, diamonds in the rough, so to speak. So, but yeah, I agree.
And then again, you could do portfolio loans with this, right? You could, in theory, take 5, 10, 20 assets, put it in this and still get 30-year term.
Correct. Because again, if you're taking over a portfolio, sometimes you got to stabilize the properties or, rehab them a little bit and get new higher paying, tenants. You need a little bit of flexibility in the beginning for that payment relief. And then when you, get higher paying tenants or again, with these eviction moratoriums about to expire, you're going to have that challenge, that little bit of that, buffer zone that you need to.
Yeah, I actually hope I get to use the program because what I see happening the next 6 months before the end of the year is there's going to be some frustrated landlords that want to sell everything. If you follow me or follow my course, my number one thing is going to try to be seller financing. Right. Because it saves them taxes, all of those things. But let's be clear. Some of these guys are like, I'm done. I want a check. I don't care about taxes. Take care of me. And again, every time I bought a portfolio, which I've done several times, either I bet as little as 7 units, and I bought 15 units one time. Let's just say they're under market and they haven't been appreciated or taken care of in the last 5 to 10 years. Thus they're under market. So yeah, the ability to come to a non-QM lender like Velocity just gives me better flexibility. So let's just do a what if. Let's say I found a 10 house portfolio in Fresno.
Right.
Let's say the purchase price was 1.5. Let's say the appraise is fine. There's no issues there.
Sure.
My credits, 800 plus, all that good stuff. What and the leases are whatever they need to be. Let's just assume it's like a perfect deal. So 10 houses, 1.5 million.
Right.
And
you're putting the 20 down, 25.
You tell me. That's what I was going to get to. What do I need to bring down?
Okay. Well, again, these are all turnkey ready.
Yeah, they're rented. They're all leased. You got the leases. Okay. Everything checks the box.
Okay. So normally we would do 75% LTV on that purchase price. So you put 25% down.
Oh, so
we do allow up to 80% CLTV, so the seller can carry 5%. So now
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that important because I have gone to commercial banks. Again, I've been doing this a while. I have relationships. All the commercial banks I go to want 35% down minimum. Some want 40. So I can come to you and get 25% down on this fictitious deal. Obviously,
correct.
Fictitious.
And if the seller, is about to hit that capital gains threshold and maybe can carry 5% to help that situation, we allow up to an 80% CLTV. So now technically you only got to come in with 20% down. And additionally, that 20% down only needs to be sourced, not seasoned for 3 months.
Tell people what that means.
Yes. So typically with conventional financing, they want to see consistency of your reserves of at least, 90 or more days. So 3 or more months. So in our case, we don't have to have that money sitting there for at least, 90 days or more. So in some cases, if you're getting gift funds or things of that nature, you can utilize that without having to wait until, 90 days later to pull the trigger. So it does give you a little bit, again, more speed, flexibility. If something should happen, oh, I'm a little bit short to close. I got, an uncle that's going to help out or whatever the situation is, it happens.
Yeah. So again, I just want to play this out of my head because I'm going to find one of these deals. I'm going to find one of these. So again, 1.5. So 25% down means I got to bring in 375 grand, 20% or whatever that other acronym is. I could come in for as little as 300, but then the lender has to take a second, or the seller, seller has to take a second for 75 grand.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. And again, I'd get 30-year money. Let's just call it 6%, assuming everything else checked out.
Actually, let's see here. For you, Mike?
Yes. That's just good
okay.
enough.
So just in general, if you got a 750 or better FICO, it'll be
right around 6.
Because again, there's a little bit of flexibility with my pricing, and you can do that to some degree because
I'm gonna beat you up, but this is public.
Yeah, because if I put my rate, then that where people try to hold my feet and try to undercut me, but I have some flexibility with that given certain circumstances.
But I can run the numbers. I can run the numbers in my spreadsheet at 6%, 30-year amortized.
Yes, for the.
You just went on mute, buddy. You just went on mute. There you go. That's all right. Go ahead. So tell us what you're telling us. For the O'Wright family, what? Oh, you're on mute again, buddy. Oh, his camera's gone. Oh no, Steven, where'd you go? Oh, you're on mute. There he is. You're back.
Can you hear me?
I can. That's okay, buddy. So let's round this out because that was a good segue. I can get 6%. And you were saying the ORAT family can?
Yes.
Finish that sentence.
Oh, as far as what?
For the ORAT family, everybody could count on 6% in that kind of scenario, I think is what you were saying.
Correct. At 750 or better, purchase, 30-year fix. Yes.
The right market, size, all of those things, right?
Correct.
With the right confidence. And again,
purchase,
for me,
correct.
It's just about building the deal profile, right? I have a buy box. I want to make sure the yield is great. So I'm going to find one of these. There's going to be a landlord in Fresno that wants to give up and they want to sell me all their houses. I'm going to find one of those. And I can't believe you do it for 25% down because I've already talked to banks. I'm refining one of my apartments right now. And I talked to them about the same scenario, knowing that I was going to talk to you today. And they're like, maybe for you, we do 35. I'm like, 35%. What, are you kidding me? I'm going to go somewhere else. Jesus Christ.
Right.
So,
Right.
very cool, Stephen. How do you want people to reach out to you if they want to talk about deal structures and getting a non-QM lender in their back pocket?
Email is usually the best. sdal@velocitymortgage.com. Make sure to put in the subject line ORAT, the acronym for one rental at a time, just so that we can kind of help to cipher those into a specific folder. There's just an immense amount of response, positive, obviously, but it's hard to kind of keep up when, you know, we're doing more and more shows and I get residual, you know, requests and of course managing my pipeline. So
yeah, and I appreciate what you're doing. I obviously follow up with people in my course, and near as I can tell, you can't guarantee yes answers, but you can guarantee quick answers. So near as I can tell, everybody's very happy. So thank you for doing what you do. I
appreciate it. I try to get to everybody. I hope nobody's getting, you know, caught in the mix, because we have a pretty high firewall. So some people get kind of caught in quarantine. So if that's the case, again, ORAT, because those usually get through. Otherwise, sometimes if I don't check all the time, it's just, somebody got caught, and then I reply back to them, and you know, I don't know what happened, but so just
that's cool.
Sure.
And I'm not sure if we did the marketing thing, so let's do the marketing thing before I hit stop.
Just to make sure you can edit that back in. Anyway, although I do work for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the topics and ideas discussed on this channel are that of my own.
Very cool. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.